Well, hello, all you beautiful hummers. Welcome back to the ANKHARA Field. Now that you've crossed the diamond door, stepped into your hexagon, and you felt the sweet buzz of what your personal resonance could feel like. At least I hope you have. But here's the thing. No bee hums alone. So, welcome to the Hive. This is where magic multiplies. Join us if you dare. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about the Hive and what I call the geometry of belonging, so to speak. So the Hive isn't just a cluster of bees. It really is the geometry of belonging. Every hexagon, every one of you fits perfectly beside each other and one another. We all fit perfectly together. No overlaps, no gaps, no competition, just connection. Connection and not competition. Because when we each hum in tune with our own field and our own soul octave, our own core vibration, that sound merges into a beautiful symphony with everyone else's sound. And that's the Hive. It's not a place of conformity, but it's a place of beautiful coherence. Coherence and connection. In my opinion, that's what true community feels like. Everyone is different, but we all vibrate from the same source. We all come from the same essence, and we all bring our own unique vibration, our own unique medicine into the field. And I think that that's probably what social media wishes it was. Yeah, we'll get back there. We're getting back there. Now, every hive has its stewards, right? The ones that keep the resonance flowing. So I'm going to take a few minutes to just introduce you to the stewards of the hive, of the ANKHARA Field. First, there's Ariella, our golden queen bee of the hivecraft. Her beeness. She sits in her pollinated throne. And the pollinated throne represents your soul. So you sitting with yourself in the fullness of who you are. So her hum keeps the field steady. She knows when harmony wobbles and gently retunes the tone. She's like the conductor of the orchestra. And then you get Zuri Bee. Zuri Bee's a cheeky little one, little scout of the hive, fearless, curious, and always out to be the first one to explore the new frequencies. Anything new, Zuri Bee's there. She teaches us to play, and that play is a sacred act of discovery, self-discovery. The innocence, the inner child, the inner bee. Bella Bee, our sweet little nurturer, the one who feeds the baby bees with golden pollen. She reminds us that nourishment isn't just food, it's kindness, it's warmth, and it's creative fuel. But too much pollen makes you wobble. So, too much kindness, too much warmth, too much of everything is neither good. And of course, there's Hummingbee, the sassy little singing bowl boy bee, the only boy bee here, by the way, with his shining little bowl belly. The girls tease him and they call him Bowl Belly, but he doesn't give a red fig. He knows his resonance dissolves pain, fear, and any sticky energy, if you will, wherever it vibrates or lacks vibration. He brings the vibration back into the vibration. When he hums, the whole hive sighs with relief. It's like, the vibration's back. I think we can all identify with that feeling. Now, the next thing we look at is the law of the hive. And there's only one rule, really. And that is, the hive thrives when everyone's hum is their own, unique, sovereign, in other words. You can't fake a hum, and you can't hum someone else's hum either. If you try, the frequency falters, gets false, wobbles, goes out of tune, if you will. Not because you're wrong, but more because if you try to pretend, or if you try to fake something, if you try to be something you're not, or if you're not happy with that which is within you, that pretending or trying too hard never sustains any vibration for a consistent period of time. And this is where sovereignty and connection finally meet. The hive doesn't need the sameness. It needs uniqueness. It needs creativity. And that brings in the resonance. So everyone is unique. Everyone has their own gifts, their own abilities, they are the piece of the puzzle that is missing. Each one of us is the missing piece of the puzzle, the missing hexagon, if you will. Okay, so let's think about the shadow of the hive, really. Let's talk about that. As we know, not everything in creation has stayed golden or within the light. The opposite of that has needed, it's been very necessary for the opposite of that to be as well. So these are what we call the dark nests. Inverted hives, if you will, built by those who take instead of giving. So they'll take, and not put back. That restores the balance. And that's how the imbalance occurs, is when you take or you give too much. Taking and giving too much is the same thing if it's not done in harmony. So in the dark hive we have wasps, hornets, giant mosquitoes, even the energy vampires of life, right? Doesn't always have to be a blood-sucking vampire, but an energy vampire of life. These are the beings who've forgotten their own honey and feed off others' light. But the field doesn't exile them. Why? Because energy can never be created or destroyed, only ever transferred or transformed. So when we hum in coherence, that vibration literally dissolves or transforms the dark nest back into honeycomb. In other words, acts of kindness coming from a higher perspective enables us to see truth that we can't ordinarily see if we're right in the fight of things. And this is how we remind the hornets, the killer bees, the giant mosquitoes of who they really are. As we hum ourselves back into coherence, we remind them of their hum as well. and even a hornet and a killer bee and a giant blood-sucking mosquito can remember it's a bee in its core. And maybe that's the real healing that we all need, that we all seek, that we're all here to be for each other. Okay, let's hum together, shall we? So let's get together and just imagine ourselves in our hexagon, honeycomb, pollinated throne. And let's hum together just the way that the hive does. Let's inhale the 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel the golden hexagon around you start to shimmer, and as you hold, you sense your hum syncing with the others. And on the exhale for 8, we're going to hum gently and let your vibration merge into the collective field. And as you hold for 4, feel the peace, the unity, the buzz of belonging. And repeat that 3 or 4 times, or maybe once is enough for you. Every time you feel out of sync, out of buzz, out of the hive, out of resonance or coherence, there's your hum link. Because when you're in the hive, you're never ever alone. You don't lose yourself. You find more of yourself reflected back to you. You find yourself there. That's the beauty of the ANKHARA Field. Individual sovereignty and collective harmony. See? You can be sassy, sparkly, and spiritual all at once. And a little bit feisty too. Sometimes. So now in closing, let's just think about you've now entered the hive, and your resonance is linked to all living things. Everything. We are linked. We are connected. And we now become conscious of it. So next week we'll explore the dark nest. Yep, the dark nest. Not to fear it, but to understand how to transform shadow back into sweetness. Because even darkness, when hummed with love, becomes light. We know that already, don't we? Energy can never be created or destroyed, only transferred or transformed. Enough transference now. We're looking for transformation. Yeah? And until then, stay sovereign, stay golden, stay sweet as honey. Mwah.